Hello, everybody. My name is Caleb, and you're watching Live for Love TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Welcome back to Live for Love TV. Today's the 25th day of the first month of the 25th year inside the 21st century. Now try saying that after you've had a couple of drinks. Anyway, I want to say big respects to late brethren who was laid to rest today over in the UK, Lige, Rastafari, every time, my brother. Give thanks for knowing the eye still. Anyway, we're going to talk about COVID-19 again. This mysterious virus that the CIA has now been stamped down on a report that says it is more likely that it came from a laboratory than it didn't come from a laboratory. So they're not saying 100% it comes from a laboratory, but it's more likely. Now, with all the billions of dollars they have and research scientists and all the people, that's the best they can come with after 4 years. The same thing that people like myself and people they claim were deniers and skeptics were saying 4 years ago. Or 5 years ago now, I think it is. Yeah, same thing we were saying. Why was people like me saying it? Where was our evidence? Well, our evidence was obvious. It seemed to survive. This thing seemed to survive in all climates, which was not known from any of the other viral things that have happened throughout history, such as the Spanish flu. So those type of virals, they thrive in certain environments and they don't thrive in others. This was able to seem to do damage in almost every environment. So it was clear that something had been manipulated to me, even at that stage. Also, I'd had malaria a few times, and I could not believe the similarity of when people got the COVID-19 to malaria. If you've never had malaria and you've had let's say a bad case of COVID-19, then just say you've had malaria, because it's exactly the same. That I can assure you. The only difference is one gives you a mosquito bite and the other was apparently airborne. So if somebody manipulated the malaria virus and then made it airborne, I won't put nothing past these people. Also, the man who was I don't know if you call it the CDC, but the guy who was in charge of all the health at the time of the COVID, Anthony Fauci over there in the United States of America, has been given a sort of pardon, a sort of beyond immunity to prosecution. This is by Joe Biden. He made sure he did that before he came out of office. Can you imagine that? Why would he need that? Why would Joe Biden have to do that? And why does a man need an immunity from prosecution? No one's even tried to prosecute him, but he's got an immunity from it. Can you just think about what that is telling you? So we now know CIA are saying that it's more likely than not that it's come from a lab. Anthony Fauci has been given immunity so he can't be prosecuted, and he's the man accused of funneling money from the United States to the Wuhan lab. Look at the circle. I've called it the magic circle. Look at that magic circle. Very easy to see. And as I said, I wasn't alone. There's lots of people who said it, that this thing smelt to high heaven from day one. What was surprising to me, the only surprising thing to me, was how many people fell for it. How many people I know fell for it. How many people were aggravated with me for saying something about it, against it, or that this wasn't what they were saying it is, and all the rest of it. It's absolutely amazing, and what it taught me after all these years. Not that you're against me or you're with me if you didn't agree with me, but it tells me that even in 2025, the masses are so easy to manipulate. They're so easy to push down the line, just like the Germans were done during the time of Adolf Hitler. The Germans, they fell for him. They fell for him. All he had to do was tell them that you're great people. You've always been great people, and I'm going to make you great again, and we're going to take the world back the way we had it before. And they fell for it. They didn't know what he would do to get it, and when they finally found out, a lot of them claim, and I believe were ashamed of how and what he was doing to get to this position. But the problem is they fell for it. And when you fall for something, you're in it hook, line, and sinker, even if you don't know what the people around you are trying to do. You have to be careful with these things. So, as I said, we said these things many years ago. The CIA has come out with it. I mean, they've got billions and billions and billions of dollars. They've got the scientists, they've got the researchers, they've got everybody. And they've taken 4 or 5 years to come out with something that a little YouTuber like me and all the other people out there were saying from day one. To me, it was as obvious as the nose on my face that was what was going on. Very obvious. As I said, I've had malaria, so I know. So malaria, COVID-19. If you had COVID-19 and you haven't had malaria, just put it down to, especially if you had a bad case of it, of COVID-19. Just put it down to you've now had malaria. Because as far as I'm concerned, every single thing I saw during COVID-19, everything I experienced during COVID-19 was like an attack of malaria, but airborne. Anyway, take care. See you soon. Live for Love TV.
Like, share, subscribe to Live for Love TV.